You wake up on a quiet morning, the house still asleep, and for a second, you realize you are completely by yourself. And for some people, that feels peaceful. For others, it feels like a reminder that something is missing. Some people choose to be alone because it helps them feel better. And some people are alone because life never gave them a different option. Maybe you have noticed them. The ones who sit quietly at a party. The ones who always say no to an invite with a polite smile. The ones who say they are fine, but deep inside, they wish someone would notice they are not. For people who love being alone, being by themselves is not empty. It is room to breathe. It is when their thoughts are finally loud enough to hear. When thinking things through helps them understand life better, they feel refreshed here and they do well here. But it is not always simple. Some people are alone because things that happened in the past taught them to protect their hearts. Maybe friends let them down. Maybe people disappointed them. Maybe they learned early that asking for help feels risky. And so they put on a mask, smiling, nodding, pretending that everything is okay, even when, deep inside, there is a quiet pain. Being alone helps these people understand themselves in a way most people never do. They notice patterns in how they think, feel, and react. They can read a room, see problems before they happen, and control their own feelings before anyone else even says a word. Experts in the study of the mind would call this strong emotional skills, built not from being taught, but from needing to survive. It is independence that comes from both choosing it and needing it. Some people do really well with it. They find joy in quiet moments, energy in thinking, creativity in uninterrupted thought. Artists, writers, thinkers, many of them have chosen to be alone, letting that quiet time spark new ideas. They prefer deep conversations over surface-level small talk and real connection over having many people around. But there are others, those who are alone, not because they chose it, but because life pushed them there. They may have very few friends or relationships that feel shallow, or family that just does not understand them. They wear a confident face, hide how they truly feel, and keep their distance from the crowd. This is a way of staying safe, a way to survive. They have learned that depending on others can hurt, so they depend on themselves. And yet, sometimes, deep down, there is a wish for someone to simply ask, "Are you okay?" Being alone shapes them in ways people on the outside might not see. It gives them independence, strength, and a deep understanding of themselves. But it can also leave marks, trouble trusting others, fear of getting emotionally close, doing too much in relationships, or hiding pain behind being capable and funny. Experts in the mind call some of these habits avoiding closeness or always being on guard. Ways people learn to get through a world that felt unsafe or too overwhelming. Being alone can also teach a person to truly love themselves. It can build a mind that thinks deeply, a heart that feels completely, and a spirit that notices small things others miss. But it is not always a happy place. Some days, being alone feels like being left out, and being creative feels like being lonely. Some days, they just want the simple company of another person, a friend, a voice, a hand to hold, someone who asks how they are doing. And that pull between the freedom of being alone and the pain of feeling unseen is what defines them. So to love being alone is to live with two opposite feelings at once. It is independence and also being open to hurt. It is creativity and also being careful. It is a safe place and sometimes also a place of longing. These people are not broken. They are survivors, thinkers, feelers, and quiet fighters making their way through a world that often does not understand them. They show us that happiness does not always come from being around a lot of people. That strength is not only about pushing through hard times, but also about standing on your own. And that real connection is not just with others, it also lives deep inside yourself. And maybe this speaks to you. Maybe you chose to be alone, or maybe life brought you here. Either way, being alone does not decide your worth. Understanding why you need it, when it is healing, when it is protecting you, can help you live more fully, love more freely, and finally feel at peace with who you are. And sometimes, just sometimes, it allows you to notice that the world is still waiting for the real you. The one who was always there, quietly growing, quietly surviving, quietly learning to be okay on your own. So tell me, do you truly enjoy your own company, or do you sometimes wish for connection even when you say you do not? I would love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below. If this video meant something to you, please think about subscribing. It really helps and allows us to keep making content like this. Also, I want to invite you to join our Discord community. This is not for marketing or making money. It is a space I created to bring together people from all walks of life with different thoughts, ideas, and experiences. A place where you can talk, heal, and see the world from new points of view. I am part of that community too, and I share my own story there. So feel free to join us, listen, share, and even see my journey for yourself. Because at the end of the day, none of us are truly alone when we connect, understand, and support each other.